students, welcome to virtual class of Municipal Corporation of Greater Mumbai Education Department. I am Mrs. Akshata Kale and today we will learn English. Okay, now let us move to the lesson. Children, let us listen and watch an adventurous story in English today of standard 5th, and name of this story is lesson number 21, The Journey to the Great Oz. Dear children, this is a classic novel written by Lehman Frank Baum in 1856 till 1919. Okay, got this? Children, this classic novel is made into kids movie. The Journey to the Great Oz. The Wizard of Oz is a well-known fantasy of children's literature. A fantasy, the meaning is imaginative fiction involving magic and adventures. Okay? It tells the story of Dorothy, a small girl who is whisked with her dog Toto. Okay, she has a small dog named Toto by the cyclone to the wonderful land of Oz. There she meets the Tin Woodman who needs a heart, the Scarecrow who needs brains, and the Cowardly Lion who needs bravery. They all want to see the Wizard of Oz, the only person who can help them. Means altogether they are 5, right? Dorothy, Toto, Tin Woodman and Lion and Scarecrow, right? Here's an account of a part of the journey to the Emerald City of Oz where the wizard lives. Yes, today we are going to listen and watch one of the adventurous story, a part of this, okay, in this lesson. This was to be an eventful day for the travelers. They had hardly been walking an hour when they saw before them a great ditch that crossed the road and divided the forest as far as they could see on either side. It was a very wide ditch, and when they crept up to the edge and looked into it, they could see it was also very deep, and there were many big jagged rocks at the bottom. The sides were so steep that none of them could climb down, and for a moment it seemed that journey must end. "What shall we do?" asked Dorothy despairingly. "I haven't the faintest idea," said the Tin Woodman, and the Lion shook his shaggy mane and looked thoughtful. But the Scarecrow said, "We cannot fly, that is certain, neither can we climb down into this great ditch. Therefore, if we cannot jump over it, we must stop where we are." "I think I could jump over it," said the Cowardly Lion, after measuring the distance carefully in his mind. "Then we are all right," answered the Scarecrow, "for you can carry us all over on your back one at a time." "Well, I will try it," said the Lion. "Who will go first?" he asked. "I will," declared the Scarecrow, "for if you found that you could not jump over the gulf, Dorothy would be killed, or the Tin Woodman badly dented on the rocks below. But if I am on your back, it will not matter so much, for the fall would not hurt me at all." "I am terribly afraid of falling myself," said the Cowardly Lion. "But I suppose there is nothing to do but try it. So get on my back and we will make the attempt." The scarecrow sat upon the lion's back, and the big beast walked to the edge of the gulf and crouched down. Dear children, here crouched means a position where the knees are bent and the upper body is brought forward and down in preparation for jumping. Okay? Why don't you run and jump? Asked the scarecrow. Because that isn't the way we lions do these things, he replied. Then, giving a great spring, he shot through the air and landed safely on the other side. They were all greatly pleased to see how easily he did it. And after the scarecrow had got down from his back, the lion sprang across the ditch again. Dorothy thought she would go next, so she took Toto in her arms and climbed on the lion's back, holding tightly to his mane with one hand. The next moment, it seemed as if she were flying through the air, and then before she had time to think about it, she was safe on the other side. The lion went back a third time and got the Tin Woodman, and then they all sat down for a few moments to give the beast a chance to rest. His great leaps had made his breath short, and he panted like a big dog that has been running too long. They found the forest very thick on this side, and it looked dark and gloomy. After the lion had rested, they started along the road of yellow brick, silently wandering, each in his own mind, if ever they would come to the end of the woods and reach the bright sunshine again. To add to their discomfort, they soon heard strange noises in the depths of the forest, and the lion whispered to them that it was in this part of the country that the Kalidas lived. What are Kalidas? Asked the girl. They are monstrous beasts, the bodies like bears and heads like tigers, replied the lion, and with claws so long and sharp that they could tear me in two as easily as I could kill Toto. I am terribly afraid of Kalidas, said Lion. I am not surprised that you are, returned Dorothy. They must be dreadful beasts. The lion was about to reply when suddenly they came to another gulf across the road. But this one was so broad and deep that the lion knew at once he could not leap across it. So they sat down to consider what they should do. And after serious thought, the scarecrow said, "Here is a great tree standing close to the ditch. If the Tin Woodman can chop it down so that it will fall to the other side, and we can walk across it easily." "That is a first-rate idea," said the lion. "One would almost suspect you had brains in your head instead of straw." The woodman set to work at once, and so sharp was his axe that the tree was soon chopped nearly through. Then the lion put his strong front legs against the tree and pushed it with all his might, and slowly the big tree tipped and fell with a crash across the ditch, with its top branches on the other side. You can see this in the picture, right? They had just started to cross this queer bridge when a sharp growl made them all look up, and to their horror, they saw running toward them two great beasts with bodies like bears and heads like tigers. "They are Kalidas," said the cowardly lion, beginning to tremble. "Quick!" cried the scarecrow. "Let us cross over." So Dorothy went first holding Toto in her arms. The Tin Woodman followed, and the Scarecrow came next. The lion, although he was certainly afraid, turned to face the Kalidas. And then he gave so loud and terrible a roar that Dorothy screamed and the Scarecrow fell over backward, while even the fierce beasts stopped and looked at him in surprise. But seeing they were bigger than the lion and remembering that there were two of them and only one of him, the Kalidas again rushed forward, and the lion crossed over the tree and turned to see what they would do next. Without stopping an instant, the fierce beast also began to cross the river, and the lion said to Dorothy, "We are lost, for they will surely tear us to pieces with their sharp claws. But stand close behind me, and I will fight them as long as I am alive." "Wait a minute," called the Scarecrow. He had been thinking what was best to be done, and now he asked the Woodman to chop away the end of the tree that rested on their side of the ditch. The Tin Woodman began to use his axe at once, and just as the two Kalidas were nearly across, the tree fell with a crash into the gulf, carrying the ugly, snarling brutes with it, and both were dashed to pieces on the sharp rocks at the bottom. "Well," said the cowardly lion, drawing a long breath of relief. "I see we are going to live a little while longer, and I am glad of it, for it must be a very uncomfortable thing not to be alive. Those creatures frightened me so badly that my heart is beating yet." "Ha!" said the Tin Woodman sadly. "I wish I had a heart to beat." This adventure made the traveler more anxious than ever to get out of the forest, and they walked so fast that Dorothy became tired and had to ride on the lion's back. To their great joy, the trees became thinner the farther they advanced, and in the afternoon they suddenly came upon a broad river flowing swiftly just before them. On the other side of the water, they could see the road of yellow brick running through a beautiful country with green meadows dotted with bright flowers, and all the road bordered with trees hanging full of delicious fruits. They were greatly pleased to see this delightful country before them. Yes, this is all about the adventures of these five people. Yes, they are traveling towards Emerald City of Oz. Okay, got this, children? This is the part of this adventure. If you want to know more about this, you can read the novel, that is The Journey to the Great Oz by Lyman Frank Baum on net, or you can search this in your library. Okay? Dear children, let us move to the exercise part. Okay? Read the words, write other words which have the same ending. Here we can see some words. See this. First we will write the words given in the textbook. Okay? And we will try to write other words of the same kind. See, first one, eventful. Event is a word and full is a suffix added. Correct? And here ERS is added, and here LY is added, and in the last word FULLY, fully, is added as a suffix. Okay, we will try to find out some other words of same kind. See, first one, eventful. Okay, now here you can see, come on, help me. Yes, you know the words which has full at the end, right? Beautiful, right? Beautiful. Next we can write as hopeful. See, full at the end, right? You can write some more here. Next one is travelers. We have to add ERS to the word. Come on, tell me. Yes? You know one word which is familiar to you? Teachers. Teach, added ERS, so teachers. You can write bakers, right? Okay, we'll move to the next one. Despairingly. Despairing, ly is added to it. Like that only we have to find the words. Yes, correct. Terribly. Then horribly. Okay. Next, carefully. FULLY is added to care. So carefully. Now our words. Yes, I have a doubt. Correct. Doubtfully. Then lawfully. Shamefully. So many words are there. You can add some more to each kind. Okay, got this? Okay. Now we'll move to the next one. Here, add ly or fully to the following correctly. Now, here some words are given. We have to add ly or fully. Okay. See, first one is instant. Come on, tell me what we have to add, ly or fully. Instantly, ly we have to add, right? Second one, joy. Very good. Joyfully, not joyly. You read the same word again and again, then you will come to know what to add, ly or fully. Okay. Number 3, fierce. Fierce, fiercely. Very nice. Number 4, anxious. Come on, read the word anxious. Anxiously. Nice. Next, delight. Delightly or delightfully? Yes, delightfully. Correct? We have come across all these words in our textbook in one or the other place, isn't it? Okay, we'll move to next one. Now, dear children, this is language study. We are going to learn about conjunction. What is the meaning of conjunctions? Yes, here it is. Conjunction is a word which is used to join words, phrases, clauses and sentences to one another. Means two words are joined like Rama and Sita. Okay, two words are joined. Otherwise, two phrases will be joined. Otherwise, two clauses will be joined. Otherwise, two sentences will be joined with one another. The word we are going to use in between these are called as conjunction. Okay, we will go through some examples. See here, 3 sentences are there. Now we will find out the conjunction, that is a word which joins these sentences. See, first one, Ram is 12 years old and his brother is 10 years old. See, dear children, this sentence has 2 parts. Number 1, Ram is 12 years old. This is a meaningful sentence, right? Here one more is there. His brother is 10 years. Correct? So which word is used to combine these two? Yes, very good. And. And is nothing but conjunction. Now read, Ram is 12 years old and his brother is 10 years. Okay, we'll move to second one. Sawan can't walk because he is ill. Yes, come on, tell me which word helps to combine these two sentences or join these two parts. Sawan can't walk. Because, why? Because, correct? See, this is the conjunction. Because reason is given, he is ill. Got this, children? Otherwise we have to make two different sentences like Sawan can't walk, Sawan is ill. But here we have used because. By this, these two parts are joined to say the clear meaning of this sentence. Okay, got this? Okay, next, birds fly but cattle don't. Here comparison is given. Birds fly but, yes, but is conjunction. But cattle don't. Got this, children? Conjunction is a word which is used to join words or phrases or sentences to one another. Got this? Now here, read the following aloud and encircle the conjunction. This is from your textbook. First we will write here. Okay? Whatever is given in the textbook. Then we will encircle the conjunctions from this paragraph. Now we'll start here. I am terribly afraid of falling myself, said the cowardly lion. But I suppose there is nothing to do but try it. So get on my back and we will make the attempt. See here, but, correct? But I suppose there is nothing to do but try it. Am I right? Okay. Next, so get on my back and we will make the attempt. Again here, and, correct? It joined these two parts. The scarecrow sat upon the lion's back and the big beast walked to the edge of the gulf and, see, crouched down. Why don't you run and jump? See here, run and jump, two words, and this conjunction is joining run and jump. So, and is conjunction here. Asked the scarecrow, because that isn't the way we lions do these things, he replied. Because, got this? Okay. Then giving a great spring, he shot through the air and landed safely on the other side. Got this, children? Here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 conjunctions are there in this paragraph. Okay? Next, list the conjunctions. Some conjunctions we will list here. See this, and you know this, until, then if, till, still, however, whereas, only, not only, than, no soon, whether or. Got this, children? Some more conjunctions are there. Okay, you can find out them from the textbook or from the net. Here one exercise is there. Fill in the blanks with the correct conjunctions from those given below. Some conjunction words are given here. Okay. We have to read the sentence given and we have to find out the correct conjunction which is suitable for that sentence. See, these are sentences. They have blank spaces to write the conjunctions. Okay, we'll move to first one. The children were eating bread dash butter. Come on, tell me. Here we will read this. If, and, unless, so, because, but. You know the meaning of all these conjunctions, right? Very easy, correct? First one, the children were eating bread. Very nice. And butter. We'll write and here. Bread and butter, correct? Always we use bread and butter, this phrase, right? Next, Meeta was happy dash she was going for a picnic. Why she was happy? Because she was going for a picnic. Because, correct? That's why she was very happy. Okay, next, please do not change your seats dash I say so. Yeah, if and is over, correct? Unless, so, but. Very good. Unless I say yes. Teachers, they tell like this. Please do not change your seats unless I say so. Am I right? Okay. Next. The balloon will burst dash you prick it with a pin. Very nice. If, correct. If you prick it with a pin. Now what remained? So and but. Okay. I ran for the school bus dash could not catch it. Very good. But I tried a lot but I have not got the success. Right? Next. The little boy was hungry dash he ate the loaf of bread. Yes. So, correct. Only one left, that is nothing but so. The little boy was hungry, so he ate the loaf of bread. Right? I hope you understood about the conjunction. Correct? Okay. Dear children, thank you very much. And please go to your textbook and read the lesson 2 or 3 times. Okay? And try to understand the story. Thank you very much for being a part of this lesson. Please subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon to get the new updated videos.